Thank you, Chairperson.
Yeah, the echo is back again.
Thank you. I'll just deal with the issues which the team has left out. It is what team formed, then I'm then left with very
Chair.
few things
Chairperson?
to actually on.
Sorry, PP. Honorable Nomvalo.
Yes, Chair. No, I just want to be on the same page with you. We have some, in fact, I have some follow-up questions which I want to ask. Now, my assumption is that in terms of protocol, the CEO and the CFO cannot speak after their principal, has spoken. So at what stage, no, wait, I'm still asking. At what stage are we going to allow are you going to allow us to make follow-up questions after the PP? And if those follow-up questions are supposed to be answered by the CEO and the CFO, are you going to allow them to come again after their principal has spoken?
There's no need to take a long time. I got your point. We're still in the phase of answering to the first batch of questions. So the PP is closing the first batch of questions. Now, it's been a protocol that every time, if there is a follow-up, then we'll take the follow-up after they are done as PPSA. So it's been a practice. So we will take follow-up questions where there are follow-up questions, and they will answer to them. You can proceed, PP.
Thank you very much, Chair. As I've said, I'll only refer to the questions not dealt with. Chairperson, in respect with the Call Me Back SMS rollout as well as the service portal, we've already started to do outreach programs in this respect, and we will be rolling it out as we conclude our Good Governance Month at the end of this month of October. Honorable Nomvalo, on the issue of a possible systemic investigations regarding the findings that the AG would have made in municipalities, we've actually started looking into this issue, and really what we've dissected, and the AG is also in agreement with most of these, is that there's a direct correlation between the misappointments or the irregular appointments that are being made by municipalities and performance. Because if you do not have the correct persons in the correct positions, then you are bound to have challenges in respect of maladministration. But also the equitable share issue does affect some municipalities because some don't have the capacity to oversee bulk projects. Like we've heard over the news recently on some of the municipalities in the Free State having not spent their municipal grants and would be seeking consultants in order to spend those municipal grants, which is also for us a bit of a red flag, which means that a bulk of the money is going to go into consultants and not into service delivery. And in that respect, we will be sending an alert letter to the respective municipalities to find out what is actually the plan, so that we don't have a situation where services are not delivered in the main, which is what those municipal grants are actually meant for. Now, the constant change of leadership also affects the administration, and then you find that it actually lacks in respect of performances. Municipalities being placed under administration without a proper plan on a turnaround. We've seen this in the Free State, and we've seen this as well in the Northwest. And actually finding that the same administrators are being rotated around from one municipality into the other. So having done at least this analysis, we are now at a stage of looking into which portion of this do we look into in respect of a systemic investigation? Because if we enter into a blanket systemic investigation, it is going to take us quite some time in order to be able to conclude it. So we are doing work in that. We're hoping that soon we'll be able to finalize it, and as part of our plan for the next financial year, be able to resume a systemic investigation in this regard. Further, regarding the issue of equity in terms of procuring, particularly for legal practitioners, I mean, this is a big issue, especially for those who've been previously disadvantaged. The only way for them to learn the skills, to be SCs and so forth, on the main, they rely on procurement in the public sector. But this shouldn't be just for one firm, because really that doesn't represent equity. We need to look vastly, you know, into spreading out the procurement of legal services. And the team is very much aware that the brief is not on the name of a firm, but the brief is on equity. Black, women, youth, at large, and issues of disability, but also white women, because they are also impacted by the issues of equity. So we are closely ensuring through the processes that the responsible persons are working on in respect of this. Honorable, so I think the team has answered, and I've made reference to the issue of the self-service portal, as well as to the SMS, which we are also going to utilize as part of accessibility of the public protector, in addition to the other areas which have been raised by the colleagues. Now, Honorable Chair, you know, when we started off, I wanted to resist the temptation to outline that, you know, this committee actually has a member who's conflicted when it comes to the issues of the public protector, because she's the impeached public protector, and some of the matters that she even alluded to are matters that were ventilated in the Section 194 committee, in which staff of the public protector had testified to the operations and the mannerism in which the institution was run during her tenure. Now, Chairperson, what is critical?
I don't think it's proper for you to even allow this. I don't know how to even name it, because I'm a member of parliament here. So I don't know why you allow her to just raise this nonsensical issue. So please, Chairperson, I'm a member of parliament here. So if she can just answer the questions. I have been the public protector for those years. The things which were there are still operational. Hence, I asked whether she has a vision which she will move with. They're still keeping most of the things which have been operational. So I don't think it's fair, Chairperson, for you to allow this.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I got to Adv Mkhwebane. I think the best way is that, because I was still listening to this conflict part that the PP was talking about, but I think the best way is that let's just move away from that, just go to the specific questions asked PP.
Thank you, Chairperson. Firstly, Chairperson, I must allude that my address cannot be alluded to as nonsensical. Being a member of parliament doesn't give anyone unfettered powers to be disrespectful to the next person. I am the public protector and office bearer, and I'm an officer of the court, being an admitted advocate. We owe one another mutual respect. It cannot be. Advocate Mkhwebane cannot do what she did during the induction of parliamentarians to lead a disruption of the PPSA presentation led by myself. which, by the way, shows
Chairperson,
itself in this committee
Chairperson,
because other members are
Chairperson,
actually
I
asking
don't think
about the
Chairperson,
mandate.
Wait,
Chairperson,
wait.
Chairperson, you can't allow
No, Honorable Mkhwebane, I think where I agree with the PP is how you address the matter. Otherwise, addressing it, I mean, I agree with you. Addressing it, we should not focus on what the Section 194 committee dealt with and stuff. But I think you went too hard when you spoke about nonsense and stuff. So I think I'd advise that let's just move away, PP, from this point and focus on the questions asked so that we conclude. We still have OCJ waiting for us.
Thank you, Chairperson. If I had been allowed to finish, I would have actually come to what the issue of the conflict derives in. Honorable Mkhwebane dealt with the issue of the security of the chief of the CEO. Now, Honorable Mkhwebane is conflicted when it comes to the security issues regarding the CEO. And these we've reported to the police officers. Amongst messages, phone calls, which were made by Mr. David Skosana, who is husband to Honorable Mkhwebane, whom I also see is now on the platform. There has also been an SMS from an unknown number, and this I am going to read out for the committee so that I prove the conflict. If Fighter Mkhwebane doesn't get her money, we will pay your sons. And the sons' names are actually stated, a visit, your choice. Now, this is amongst several threats that were made to the CEO. And as a result, Honorable Chairperson, I really, and the rest of the committee members, will not answer to the security issues regarding the CEO, which, by the way, leaves a lot to be desired on how Honorable Mkhwebane is aware of the information, considering that these security
Chair,
issues surround matters. Proceed to the issue
Chairperson,
of vision of the public.
Can you hold on, PP? Honorable Nomvan.
yes, Chair. You know, despite technical, these technical glitches which we're experiencing now, Chair, I think we are not doing justice to this meeting.
Right.
I think this ping pong, Chair, is not going to take the meeting anywhere. And Chair, if you can be patient with me, this thing of asking why while I'm on the floor is also out of order. No, Chair, don't do that, please. Don't do that. No, don't do that, please. Please, Chair, please, don't do that. Chair, I'm saying, Chair, you've made. Yes, Chair.
Please allow me to chair the meeting. Please don't get irritated because I'm trying to get your point here. And I allowed you. I've been allowing you even before. Please allow me to chair the meeting. There is no way that in the meeting you speak forcefully. There is no way. So let's help each other. Let's meet each other halfway. So I'm allowing you. So I want you to elaborate when I'm saying why. So that we get you. Remember, it's not the two of us in the meeting. I may get you, and other members may not get what we are saying. So let's meet each other halfway to ensure that the proceedings of the meetings are not interrupted. You can proceed.
Chair, I'm saying you've made the ruling on this issue of how the PP is responding to Advocate Mkhwebane. And I think it should not be taken further. And I think the best way, Chair, is that the PP must just continue to answer other questions, because on this one, we seem to be derailing. So she must proceed in respecting your ruling.
In the platform. Sure, you can proceed.
Yes, I'm saying, Chair, in respecting your ruling, she must just, proceed to other questions and leave this one because it is going to unnecessarily delay the meeting.
Yes, I think what we must do, Honorable Nomvalo, is that because we're still listening to the conflict. I think she has dealt with the conflict part. So the best way is that we have gotten where it arises. Now, maybe if she can submit that to us, then we'll see how best do we attend to it. Maybe if an email PP can be sent to the committee secretary, so that we interrogate and see this. Now, can we pass over now to another question that has been asked?
Thank you very much, Chairperson, and thank you very much, Honorable Nomvalo, for that direction. Chairperson, we will actually make a detailed submission and we will submit it in person because of some of the security issues involved in this respect. Chairperson, when it comes to the issue of the vision of the Public Protector South Africa is an institution. Now, an institution is run through processes. Under the period under review, we are still dealing with the 5-year period, which are still under the leadership of my predecessor. Hence, we still have the objectives which were put in place under her leadership, which I believe were the vision and the objectives of the institution. Hence, we are continuing for those. We've already held our strategic planning for the next 5 years, which the strategic planning and the vision thereof is led under my leadership, which is a vision and a strategy in the annual performance plan of the institution and not of mine as an individual, and which leads that direction, Chairperson, which we've already started to implement under the Vision 2023, is the digitalization of Public Protector South Africa. It is learning of Public Protector South Africa, which has several strategies under those. And further, it is the strategic human resources of Public Protector South Africa, which is also encompassed by the governance architecture of the institution in order to support the core business. I will not deal then with the strategies thereof and the operational matters thereof. This committee will have the benefit of that when the time comes for Public Protector South Africa to report to the committee in that respect. When it comes to the institution failing to achieve a systemic investigation, I think Advocate Mkhwebane has dealt with this issue. There are multifaceted of issues, and I must repeat, Honorable Chair, the state of the institution is not on normal. Firstly, on human capital, issues of employee wellness and health. And today is actually Mental Health Day. And I think for us, it's quite an issue as the institution. You cannot move an ailing staff. We have to lead. And that is even what global standards are bringing out. So to be honest, Chairperson, as much as what we want to deliver on our mandate, I've got a responsibility as head of institution for the well-being of my staff. And that I will work with parallel with ensuring that we deliver. As you see the results that we've produced before this portfolio committee, they actually show that with all the challenges that the institution has been in, history can be erased. It influences the present and the future, and that's why we touch on it. And it is part of those challenges. We also still have apologies, am I audible now? We also have to respond, particularly in systemic issues, yes, we would understand that they are more in-depth, etc. But some of them, it is also because of not wanting to respond. That is why we then put in place the protocols that we have in order to elicit responses, which includes a subpoena, by the way, to ensure that they are being responded to. The issue of understaffing plays a role. The funding plays a role. our investigators are overwhelmed by the work that they are having. This is the balance that we need to strike in ensuring performance. But as already alluded to, Honorable Chair and Honorable Members, we are putting systems in place to ensure that with all that the institution is going through, we are able to meet the needs of the people of South Africa. We still have engagement with traditional leaders. We've actually submitted a proposed MOU with the traditional leaders, which we are hoping that will be signed during this financial year, but it doesn't stop the work from taking place. As alluded to, we even have our drop boxes in some of the traditional houses. Engagements with the FISD, we actually regulate this relationship, particularly where it has to do with our work through MOUs, because an FISD is not a statutory structure. It is merely a coordination and interrelation structure where we share as institutions supporting democracy. So in order to regularize what we would have come up with in some of the discussions in the FISD, it is through the MOUs which we have. Chair, I really did not hear any contradiction from the CEO regarding the amount of the CARA funding. If there was, it must have been just a sheer slip of a tongue. The CARA funding is accounted for very clearly in the presentation which we have submitted. Now, you know, Chair, we rather err on the side of caution. You know, on the labor matters. We once had a matter of Mkhwebane in this institution, where, in fact, it's a matter that we shouldn't have been involved in as an institution in the first place. And by the way, that is what is our screening process is also working on, that we do not find ourselves seized with matters that we should not be seized with, because it creates an expectation on complainants. It is good and well that from the onset, we subject them to the requirements of us taking complaints. Yes, we do have an element of being ombudsman, and in deserving matters, we do so. But the example of the matter of Mkhwebane, which took a long time, resources and time and so forth of the institution, which was a labor matter and a matter that we should not have really involved ourselves as the institution. I mean, there's many other matters besides labor matter. There's a matter of Spitipit, where the institution ended up having a very harsh letter from the head of the Hawks regarding the conflict that we had as an institution, or rather the former head of institution, when it comes to this particular matter. So that is precisely what the issue of our screening process is actually dealing with. Now, Honorable Chair, lastly, Honorable Manyi, thank you very much for your question, but kindly, may we have a specifics on all these issues of control that you have alluded to? I think the question is a bit too open-ended, so that also we are specific and we are able to satisfy what you require out of your question. Please, may we get a specific that out of the elements which you have alluded to, what is it specifically that which you would want us to make a submission on, and we will do so, Chairperson. Thank you. Over to you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Public Protector. Honorable Nomvalo, do you still have a follow-up?
Yes, thank you very much, Chair. Chair, my follow-up question relates to irregular expenditure versus fruitless and wasteful expenditure. I think the CEO, when she answered this question, she did not make justice for the following reasons, Chair. One, I fully understand the meaning and the difference between these two terms, irregular and wasteful. I understand that irregular expenditure can occur as a result or as a consequence of irregular steps that have been taken leading to that payment. That I fully understand. Subsequent to that, the PFMA, I think it's section 1 of the PFMA, makes a clear and a concise definition of what fruitless and wasteful expenditure is. And it says it's expenditure which was made in vain and would have been avoided had reasonable care been exercised. Now, case law says for irregular expenditure, when there's value for money, no one will be held liable. I mean, when there's value for money, I just forget that the citation of such case laws. That is why it's understandable. I mean, an excuse will be understandable when the PP says, or the CEO says, that they continue to make payments even though there were irregularities during the procurement processes. But now, with regards to wasteful and fruitless, I think that is the most adverse finding, because it means there's been no value for money whatsoever. And it's expenditure that could have been avoided had reasonable care been exercised. That is why, Chair, I'm saying, when we respond or when we deal with this, we must not use a very dodgy, response. The CEO just responded as if I asked about irregular expenditure. I never asked about irregular expenditure. I asked about fruitless and wasteful. I don't know if the CEO misconstrued my question, or she just chose to be generous and answered questions which I've not asked. Now, the question, Chair, is, before that finding was made, were there any steps put in place, or was there any plan that was put in place, reasonable care that was put in place to ensure that this does not occur?
Chair, I've raised my hand. Please recognize me once it's done, please.
Is that a point of order? Is that a
Chair, I'll
point
wait
of
for
order?
direction. Can I continue?
And I'm asking because it's Honorable Mkhwebane indicated
I'll
first.
wait for direction.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm asking if
I'm saying I'm going to wait, but please recognize me when it's done.
no problem. Honorable Mkhwebane is going to finish. She will recognize you.
Chair, was I audible before this hand was raised?
Yes, you are audible. You are audible.
Okay, Chair. Now, Chair, I'm saying I think the CFO tried a little bit, to respond on this one, but not adequately. I'm not quite, satisfied with the response. Were there any measures put in place to avoid this? And two, if there were no measures, then with the consequence management, and can they be please specific to say these are the cases that were found through our internal investigations, and this is how we've dealt with them, even if they go to an extent of giving specifics. And Chair, with regards to the remedial actions which are not implemented, I think, well, I cannot ambush them now. Maybe they have not considered that for this report, but in future, Chair, what they must do is that they must list all those, people against whom remedial actions have been made, and give statistics to say these ones have implemented and these ones have not implemented. So that, Chair, like I said earlier, that during our constituency work and during the course of our participation in Parliament, we will be able, to pursue those matters through our oversight responsibilities, because some of these departments, if its departments which are not complying with the remedial actions belong to other, portfolio committees. So we can speak with our members to say, in your portfolio committee, take this matter further. Yeah, those are my questions, Chair. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Nomvalo. Honorable Skhosana.
Thank you, Chair. I just want to say that it's very unfortunate that the PP, Advocate Gcaleka, invoked my name when she saw my hand. I must just remind her that when he says that, listen to me. No. Listen to me, Chair. He raised my name. She mentioned my name. So I want to respond.
No pause there, Honorable Skhosana. Can you please help us, my leader? We have already ruled on the matter. The matter is still going to be attended to. Remember, we said she's going to send us a detail of what she's saying as the PP. Then we'll take it from
but I'm saying,
where your name is, you definitely will be accorded time.
Listen to me. Listen to me, Chair. I'm saying I don't care about that. I don't mind. But I'm saying if you invoke my name here on this platform and say that there's a conflict, which, as you said, you stopped here, I'm fine with that. But I can tell you, if people want to use state funds and say because there's a conflict, I'm married to the former, when Mazzoni and I don't want to go there. What I want to say is that whatever she and her CEO are talking about me, for them to use state money in my name and say they've reported, because no one has ever came to me and said anything. So after a year or so, now they are coming. I don't want to use that word because you said that I'll be decent on that. But I'm saying I've got a right to be here. And if she's not happy with that, she can jump.
No, it's fine, Honorable Skhosana. It's fine. We note your point. I think the entire matter will be dealt with as it arrives in our office. And of course, as people whose names would have been mentioned would actually be accorded time to have their inputs on the matter.
Yeah, she only mentioned me anyway, remember? Me
yes.
only. Yeah. So
yes.
I'm ready. I'm ready in all fronts. If need
fine.
be. If need be, her wish will happen. Thank you.
Honorable Skhosana.
Yes.
Wait. We got you on your point. So that's
Thank
why
you.
I'm saying.
Honorable Chair, I just want to raise that this is a threat.
Wait, PP, we're coming to you. PP, wait, we're coming to you now. We're coming to you now.
She's feeling the heat under her collar.
No, Honorable Skhosana, no. Please switch off your mic. Please switch off your mic.
Yeah, it's off.
PP, we are coming to you now. As we're coming to you, the central focus is on the matters that were asked by Honorable Nomvalo, which have got a lot to do with the annual report. The issues raised about conflict and the issues that are outside the context of the annual report are going to be dealt with at the time when that report that we requested you to submit to us, it is submitted. So all matters are going to be attended to. This is not the platform to attend those matters now, but dealing with a very important process of Parliament of receiving an annual report from Public Protector South Africa. So let's focus on exactly what Honorable Nomvalo would have asked as a follow-up question that which he thinks has been missed in the answering. Yes, PP.
Thank you, Chair. I'll hand over to the CEO to deal with the issue as it's a follow-up from a question that she had answered. Thank you, Honorable Nomvalo. Yes.
Thank you, CEO.
Thank you, PP. Thank you, Honorable Chairperson.
Your echo is back.
Yes, we were just muting the other computer. And I really have to apologize to the honorable member for probably misinterpreting the question. I believe the question is more about the preventative measures that were put in place to prevent fruitless and wasteful expenditure relating to the losses. And as I mentioned earlier on, we have those losses of cell phones and laptops, but it's not all the cell phones and laptops that were lost in 1 year, but they come over the year. So it's an accumulation thereof. The controls that we had in place is that we have a cell phone policy that says to employees, under what circumstances can a cell phone be allocated? And should you lose the cell phone, how then will we determine as an institution whether you are liable or not? And also alerting officials that they are responsible for the safekeeping of those cell phones because they are government property. So it seems as if that control of believing that people will do the right thing, and we also encourage them to insure the cell phones as part of their own insurance at home, because we have insurances at home, but unfortunately some people cannot take out insurance for their homes, so that's why their cell phones were not insured. So I'm saying probably the control of the policy and guidance that we was given was probably not sufficient. So that's why now what we're doing, we've changed the manner in which we're allocating cell phones. To minimize the risk on the PPSA, now we're saying, take out your own insurance, because then even the instrument itself is going to belong to you. And then we will reimburse for the use of that cell phone as an institution, because at the same time, we cannot expect officials to subsidize the institution. So you take out your own contract with a service provider, you use your cell phone, and then on a monthly basis, you bill us, basically. You give us your bill, and then we refund you. We believe that's going to be the best control that we can ever implement. We're still looking into how then do we deal with laptops, because laptops also get lost. But we continue, as I said, with resuscitating the governance structures. We are going to have information sessions again too. And security, I must say, security management has been trying its best to alert and educate our employees about the do's and the don'ts when they have these laptops. Like, you cannot have a laptop when you use, for example, public transport, because it's not going to be safe unless if you lock it in the office, and we will make provision for you to be able to lock that laptop in the office. But security has tried to educate, but in spite of that, still people leave their laptops on top of the seats of their cars unattended, and then come back and claim that my car was broken in. So that's why then through that committee, we are going to make sure that we look at all the matters, we investigate them, determine liability. If you don't know how you lost your cell phone or you lost your laptop, it means you are not taking care of it, basically. Because you should be able to say there was a break-in in my house, or there was I was mugged and my cell phone was taken, because we do sometimes get those. And then you produce a police report that you have reported the matter to the police, and then we can reconsider and write it off. But as I'm saying, we're transferring the risk of cell phones now to the employees. The list, honorable member, is very long of who is involved, what official was issued with what cell phone. It's a very long list. We can provide, so we can provide a list of all the financial misconduct cases. Yes, Chairperson?
You got frozen when you were saying it's a very long list.
I got frozen. Okay, now I'm audible, Chairperson.
Yes, you are. Yes.
Yes, I'm saying that the list is very long of who have lost a cell phone or a laptop. So it's not something that we can discuss in this meeting, but we can make it available to the honorable members just to give them a view of who had what instrument and how much was the value of that instrument. We can make that information available because it's a long list, I must say. So it's not something that we can discuss here. If the committee allows, we can provide that information by Friday this week, because it is readily available. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you very much, CEO. I see the head, Honorable Mkhwebane. With hope, Honorable Mkhwebane, that you are not going back there where we've already ruled on how we should approach that matter.
No, I think, Chairperson, you can't just gag me on how I must raise my issues, but I just wanted to say, if they check page 12 of the APP, Chairperson, we are frozen. Do you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, page 12 of the APP, where the public protector said CARA fund money, it's 48 million. Cabinet has approved 48 million. Hence, I was saying this is very much shoddy work. They should have checked that. And the CEO, in her opening remarks, still on the APP, I'll just get the page. She's saying 49 million from CARA Fund, Chairperson. So that's what I was saying. They've mentioned those two information, which are totally different in the same document. And then on the issue of the documents which they need to submit, Chairperson, for us to check the performance of their mandate as public protector. The list of matters which were referred to the SIU 2023-2024, and the list of the sections, the matters which they rejected from the applicants, which are falling within their jurisdiction, but then they say they can't entertain them because they are 2 years old. And Chairperson, when they submit the information about that issue of the CEO using the car of the institution and getting additional protectors or security companies, when they submit that document, they must also submit the threat risk assessment of the CEO. They must submit the policy of the institution relating to the utilization, SMS or senior management services utilization of state cars. And they must also submit the current public protectors utilization of the the CFO can submit to us the petty cash utilized for this financial year, and then the issue of the utilization of the credit card by the Office of the Public Protector, and also the utilization of the resources they are spending on the public protector, on the cars and the fuel and the issues which they are spending as far as that is concerned, because that is our responsibility, Chairperson, to check how the institution's resources are being utilized. Thank you, Chairperson. I'm just not going back there. I was just saying those are the documents I would expect to receive. And not even a week, I'll give them enough time to prepare those documents because it's a number of documents. I would say by the at least 20th of October, Chairperson. Thank you.
CEO, did you manage to get that? CEO? Members, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now, Chairperson.
Okay, no, that's fine.
Chairperson, I was listening to Honorable Mkhwebane. I'm not sure which credit card because I'm not aware of PPSA having a credit card. But I will check with PP, but I cannot remember.
Yeah, just respond in writing. It's fine. If you don't have, respond in writing.
Honorable Mkhwebane, please avoid that. You speak through me. CEO, you were saying you're not aware about the credit card?
Yes, I'm not aware of PPSA having a credit card that's used by the public protector, but we will respond in writing, but I'm not aware of the credit card.
No, that's
I see
that's
the CEO is also shaking his head.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine, CO. I think when you respond in writing, you'll just indicate if there's no credit card.
Okay, we will
take it.
respond in writing.
Okay,
Thank you,
very much.
Chairperson.
PP, thank you very much, and your team for delivering an annual performance annual report to the committee. Of course, we are a very robust committee.
We don't hear you, Chairperson.
There's an echo again. Something is speaking after I'm speaking. Yeah, I think it's better now. So we will await the responses as members have suggested. And I think you have been able to cover the follow-up questions that were asked by Honorable Nomvalo. I think part of what you must look at is the irregular, wasteful, and fruitless expenditure. Work on the issue relating to the panel that we chair, the auditor general is talking about. Just work out an audit action plan to share it with us so that we are able to interrogate it. Because our own spirit is to ensure that all the entities and the department that report to the committee actually perform better. We have vowed to support all of them with all the powers that we have to ensure that they perform better. We take audit as an opinion that enables us to ensure that work is done in a proper manner. So it forms part of the basic instrument that which we use to oversight our own entities that report to us. Of course, we'll await that return response. Also attend to the issue relating to the backlog of cases so that complainants do not get disadvantaged on the basis of issues that do not relate to them. But also be sure that complainants are communicated to so that they get to better understand the process that is followed by PPSA in following their complaints. What are the even when they are challenged, what are the challenges so that they don't go beyond the PPSA and complain. If you are able to provide answers to them, they definitely would not complain about it because they would actually know what is actually happening. Now we will take OCJ after you. Members are going to take OCJ at least at 2. Now it's 1:20. Thank you very much for contributing. The meeting is now adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairperson, and thank you to the honorable
Chairperson. Anyway, yeah, they are gone. It's fine.
Recording stopped.